Hello and welcome again to another edition of the Sligo Show paper review. I suppose that's what we'll call it each week. And my guest this week is a lady who knows everything about Sligo, more than most people. Val Robus, good to have you. Very welcome.
Brendan, thanks for having me.
And we're down here in a lovely little room down in IT Sligo. So thanks to the guys down here for letting us use this room for today. So we're going to kick straight in. For any of you that haven't watched before, our new little format we're doing is we're going to chat about local news that's in the two local papers, who are an amazing source of everything that's going on. And I think some people forget that sometimes, so we're always saying, go with the papers. Supporting the papers means supporting all the local businesses, local events that are mentioned. So straight into the champion, late night Sligo flights mystery. Now Val, have you seen any of this, or is this something that bothers you?
I heard these, but especially one night, it was last week, I can't remember what night it was, but it was really loud and they were going backwards and forwards, it seemed like, over our house in Killarney. And I know from looking at Facebook that other people heard them and saw them. Actually, it was only one plane, but when you look at the flight radar, I've seen these little maps. Yeah.
I said to someone someday, I think they're just playing Snake.
It's very, very strange. And I know everybody on the groups was saying it's surveys, but what are they surveying? I really want to know. And it was 3 nights running. I don't know. I'd just like to know more about it. If they're surveying something, why can't they be up front and say, we're doing an archaeological survey? Someone said flood mapping. Well, why don't they say that then? All the reports I've read and the one in the Champion just says that they were doing a survey, but they won't give any more information.
Yeah, it's look, I don't go with conspiracy theory, but as you said, there is a little bit of intrigue to go why. And I know some people was recently reported about that people thought they seen a UFO and all that, but regardless of what it is, there's just stuff happening. I think it's in the media the last few weeks a lot. So as you said, you'd love just some person to go, this is what we're doing. If you look up tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, you'll see the plane again, and that's all we're doing.
Exactly, because especially from midnight till 4 in the morning,
a bit peculiar, but we'll watch this space on that one. And again, into both papers, in fairness, there's a lot of feature with the amazing voluntary work being done by numerous community groups and people around Sligo. But one particular story here is 2 local businessmen, Fergal Nealon, who has Story Tracks, an amazing story app. If you're ever walking around Sligo, download it. And Mark Walsh, who owns the Adelaide Casino in town. So they've been gathering loads of supplies, but they've actually gone over. You know Fergal, you know the guys.
I know Fergal. He does an amazing thing. Story Tracks is a great app. You really need to listen to it, because if you're at the different areas in Sligo, it'll tell you all about it. But I've been following this story on social media, and they're doing amazing work. They're actually on their way now to deliver the supplies. I think at the moment it's -4 where they are, and it's forecasted to be at -20. So fair play to them. They're doing an amazing job. But so are so many other people in Sligo, and it's really heartwarming. There's the Sligo Food and Furniture Bank. I don't know if you know about them.
No, I've seen them. Yeah.
They have been doing a collection too, and all over the weekend they had volunteers packaging it all up. So many people. There's so much goodness out there.
I mean, we all probably feel a bit helpless, so it's nice these things are tangible. You can go, look, I can help in this way. And in fairness, 2 guys, you said they're actually going over. And I know there's Sligo haulage and distribution, there's loads of couriers and that helping out. But the 2 guys, they're actually going to set up a Facebook page as well. So if you follow Fergal Nealon's social media, I don't think he has the page set up for this, but it could be. They seem to be really hands-on getting this done. So as I said, that'll be good. Actually, I do a little gig in town, and we're doing it all for Ukraine this month as well. So just to give that a plug, because if you're heading out tonight on Wednesday in Lily's, but we're raising money for this as well. So I think it's just everywhere. But I think it's just a nice spirit.
Great to see. And people really do want to help. And even from a personal point of view, somebody contacted me, her son is trying to get home from Ukraine, and he's actually on the way, and he's, she's so worried, and it's close to home as well.
It's scary. It's real life war just happening across.
Exactly, and it makes you realise how lucky we are.
No question about it,
to be where we are.
Yeah. No, so hopefully Fergal and Mark keep up the good work, and hopefully and all the communities that are doing great work. So on to other issues that's in the papers here. I see Ballymote is getting a regeneration plan, and I love this because we often hear Sligo town gets everything in a lot of ways, and it's great, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to see some of the smaller villages now. We were out in Tubbercurry last week as well, who've an amazing new On Cree Innovation Centre, and I think these are great to see. And like you live in a rural area as well, so I'm sure you're delighted to hear.
I'm in Killarney, and actually I was in Ballymote at the weekend. I went on the Heritage Walk just with a friend. I didn't know that from Ballymote Castle, which is fantastic, and I'd love to see that open to the public or even partially opened. And then there's a walkway through, and there's an old corn mill, and it dates back, I think, to the 1700s. Don't quote me because I'm not 100%
Oh, no, we will. It'll be on this.
And then it goes up to an old church, which we actually couldn't find because we couldn't find a map. So I'd love to see things like this. Ballymote's a great town. That Bram Stoker actually stayed there. The Dracula connection. He stayed in.
Didn't even know.
Above, there used to be a hotel where Johnson's Furniture is, and he stayed there. And so that's fascinating.
So, well, I mean, I didn't even know the Heritage Walk. So if I walk into Ballymote, it's not a guided thing. You just. Is it mapped out or something, or how do you find it?
It's on Sligo Walks, but I couldn't find a map. So you start from there's a little there's a monument as you go into Ballymote, and you start walking through this lovely little park, and it's by the train station, and then you go through this tunnel. It always reminds me of James Bond, actually, because you're walking through this tunnel and you come out to the castle, and then you walk along the castle, and then you just carry on it and bring you to the old corn mill. Right. So there's loads that could be done, and again with the Tub of Curry, the digital hub, it's just brilliant to see rural places getting some help.
And I know that in Escrone, Kilglass, there's a huge old factory being renovated for, modern co-working spaces, technology centres, and like in Tub of Curry, they have an amazing podcast studio as well. Like, you know what I mean? So it's great that someone in the community can go, look, we have an event, we'd love to do a little chat about it or make a video. It's like, well, it's all there, and it's not all in the main hub of the town. It's everywhere. I don't know if Sligo Town has many actual hubs anyway, so maybe Sligo Town needs a hub as well.
But even, I don't know if you know, near Tub of Curry, there's Knocknashee, and the community bought the old pub, and they're transforming that into a hub for the community at the moment. So they raised 60,000 and they bought the pub nightclub at auction, and now it's a community cafe at the weekends, and they want to turn it into a social club for the local people, which is just amazing. There's so many fantastic stories out there.
I know, absolutely. And as I said in this chat we have at the papers, that's what we're trying to do, is focus on all the good news. Again, I see St Angela's, there's more money being promised there to develop that, and I mean that's going to become part of the, I hope I did this right now, in IT Sligo and St Angela's merge, the Atlantic Technological University. So that's only like 3 or 4 weeks away, I think. That's been announced.
Brilliant.
So,
it's great.
It's great. And like, if anyone's never been to St Angela's, go out for the drive, even to see the view on the lake.
Oh, stunning.
It's gorgeous.
Stunning area.
It would be a great place to be out studying, I would say, for sure.
Yes.
Another story here we've seen, this was in the Champion, this couple, Noreen and Christy Gallagher. And I love these features. You don't know what you're going to get in a local paper. An amazing story. They've fostered over 34 children over 30 years.
That's amazing.
And I mean, I have 2 kids and you have 2 kids.
I do.
Would you foster 34 children?
No. I might foster 34 dogs.
Yeah.
But no, fair play to them. And I just love this. And again, with the local papers, they're telling stories about local people that we would never hear about.
No. And everyone has a fascinating story. Like,
Absolutely.
Even all the interviews we did on the Sligo show, meeting people and didn't even know. There's some of the background stories, I really enjoyed that. So again, we're not going to delve into every story, but like, get your papers, have a good read. There's Minister Humphreys again. That's in all the papers as well. So again, there's over €1 million, I'm pretty sure, was invested. So I think it's one of the biggest in the country. I'm skipping through here. There's a great talk in Sligo Library with famed war correspondent Fergal Keane, and I mean it's a bit apt now. I'm sure he's probably maybe reporting, I'm not sure, but in Ukraine.
Yes, so and also with the library, they do have regular talks, so it's worth watching them. I think they're usually on a Wednesday evening, so they have different interesting people that will talk about books, and I'd say the war correspondent will be very interesting. And
from what I know, this is it's like a 6-week course. I could be wrong on that. It's like a writing course.
Okay,
yeah,
excellent.
So you can do that, and it's 7th of April that starts, but Fergal is in the 30th of March, which is the launch. So 6:30 on the 30th of March. So again, people watch out for that one. This is a topic, the disused rail line has a major role as the headline here in the Champion, and it's MEP Chris McManus. Now, again, I'm not going into politics of it, but do you have any insight? Would you rather see a rail line? Would you rather see a greenway? Or what's the
well,
win?
I mean, we live in Killarney. Yeah. The railway used to come through Killarney village, and the old railway station is there. I would have personally loved that scene turned into a cafe because it's fantastic. Yeah. And then, I don't know, would they have the business for a railway? I really don't know. Sometimes when you go on Sligo to Dublin Railway, it's very quiet. Yeah. Not that I've been on it.
Lots in the last while, especially. Yeah.
So I don't know. Personally, I'd love to see a greenway. a safe place for the kids to cycle. You know, some
adults
of the rural,
to cycle.
Yes, I know. Some of the rural roads can get very busy, and I just think that would be nice.
Yeah, and again, I've read little headlines. I mean, and maybe someone knows more than me, but why can't we just have both?
Yes.
You know, I mean, if you build a rail line, then maybe more people will start to come here, like business, everything. It'll link the airports. So again, I'm always watching that from afar going, where will this go? What will happen? Which will happen? Who's against it and why would they be against it? So again, I think
I kind of look at the Greenway in Westport and the difference it's made and the amount of tourism. I mean, Westport's in a totally different class.
No, as you said, just to park the car up and then just go for a lovely long safe cycle.
Yeah.
And another thing here I seen on the papers was some local students went to learn more about being a counsellor. And again, I think this is something young kids should be seeing. Understand what counsellors do. It might give you that little bit more interest. You don't have to be interested in politics. As I always say, whether you like it or not, you're into politics because you're part of this country which is ran by politicians. So I think it's good to learn more. Would you ever risk going into the council?
Oh God, no.
No.
But I do think that they should give students the chance to learn about everything, to team up with entrepreneurs, to see business people, because it would give them more of a grounding. And I have to say, Adele Kenny, that took the students in, she's fantastic. She runs, she's co-founder of Ballina Community Radio Station, where I used to have my radio show. Okay, so she's doing great work out in Cranmore, so well done to her.
Yeah, no, I just love that idea. And again, all these stories, buy the paper, have a good read. This is an interesting new business, and they've actually been talking to us. We're going to have them on the show for a chat someday. But Clinic X, it's a Strandhill-based rehabilitation program that helps individuals regain control of their health after a life-altering diagnosis. So again, and I read a little bit about it, say if you're after cancer or you're after heart attack, you just may not understand how do I go back. You know, what's the level of fitness I can go for? Like, so, and I think it's one of the first in the Northwest that offers this service. So well done to them. The three kind of fitness professionals have come together.
Yeah, it's a great idea and it's needed. I think after any kind of illness or surgery, you need the support and you need someone that kind of understands and can help you get back on the road. Yeah,
and it's not just the fitness. I think there's a multidisciplinary. As I said, we will chat to, I think it was Paddy that was on to us there. So we'll have a chat with them. Skipping through here now, I'm trying to see our next piece here. Bear with me. We don't do the court cases. Skip on that. Gavin Dykes, another great one of these feature stories, local soccer legend. So he talks about working in the community training centre. And he's also
my daughter trained in the community centre.
Well, there you go. So she knows Gavin.
And Gavin was the manager there. And if anybody leaves school early for whatever reason, my daughter left school at 16. Right. It just wasn't for her, and went to the community training centre, and it gave her confidence. You know, she then went on. She's done she's got a degree now. She went to AIT. Brilliant. So there's different ways, and she's working in the civil service. So well done, Lucy. But there's different ways around if maybe someone can't cope with the leaving cert.
And what centre is that now?
It's out in Cleaverham. It's the community training centre. They do hairdressing, catering.
Oh yes, okay, yes. So
you know,
I know now. Yeah.
So it's for early school leavers basically. Brilliant. And it really does give them a bit of independence. They get paid to go there, and you know they learn so much.
I love the idea. I mean, my kids go to a different, it's self-directed learning, Sudbury School. So I'm very much into alternative ways of getting into the system, as we might call it, the college system and whatnot. I'm going to switch over a bit more to the weekender here now, because we don't really delve into the sport too. And I know, Val, you wanted to go into sport big way. You're a big fan.
I look it, don't I? I'm so sporty.
Well, as I said, I am, but like the Sligo Way podcast is your great sports podcast for all the local youth. But we will give a little chat about sport in a while. Again, more funding here for preservation of some old buildings around Sligo and surrounds, like Dolly's Cottage, Hazelwood House. And again, Sligo has, I mean, no one knows it more than you. Sligo has abundance of these beautiful buildings. So it is nice to see they're going to be
absolutely. It's heartbreaking when you see them falling down around us because they've so much history. There's actually another building out near Homeland, and I'd love to see something done with
Bachelor's Beans.
Yes.
It looks so cool.
That's probably one of my favourite buildings, and I'd love to get in there just because I love the history. I've been in Hazelwood House, and it's amazing. Wow. Like they opened, it was just when the new owners bought it, and they took me in and showed me around, and they opened the cellar, and there was all these bottles, and then the dates from the 1800s. It's just, we have all this on our doorstep.
And the thing I often say, well, my dream, if I win the Euro Millions, I'm going to get the Foo Fighters or someone to play Just outside the house, there's a lovely stone area and a huge rolling field. Cool. I said, it's absolutely perfect.
Yes.
There's big roads all the way in and out of it. There's car parking, and the Wild Roots guys are kind of out near enough that site as well. So that's why I love to see things like that. So it would be lovely to see it around. We did a show in the big factory, the old Seihan Media. Yes. It's huge.
It's fantastic.
That could become a film studio or something.
Well, do you remember they had the arts exhibition there, and they had this inflatable aeroplane?
Yes,
and it was just unreal. Like, you go into this place, it's just...
Yeah, it was mad.
Amazing.
So no, again, it's good to see that they're getting the money. 2 local ladies took an epic trip. They did the Arctic Circle Challenge. On your bucket list, Val?
No.
No, me neither. No, I was up at Lapland once. That was lovely.
I can just about do the Knocknarea Circle, let alone anything else.
Audrey Elliott and Teresa Brennan. So they, what did they do? Temperatures as low as minus 18 degrees. Yeah, no, amazing. And again, I didn't even read the full story, so... I think that's worth a good read as well. Moving through here, again, we have that writing course by the Reporter featured as well. And I love this in the Weekender, the small shorts. And I'll flick through a few of them. There's a musical theatre showcase this March 13th, this Sunday, Chapel Lane School of Performing Arts. I love this children's yoga workshop, global cuisine at the Model on St. Patrick's Day. I keep seeing this on social media. Did you ever go to it? I've never been.
Yes, the food's amazing. Go.
It's
the Sligo Global Kitchen, and it's basically the residents of Globe House. They moved here, they had no place to cook. An artist got in touch with them, and the Global Kitchen was formed through the Model, and they're just fantastic. So they'll cook food from their regions, and they share it with the community. Wow. So, and there's usually singing, and sometimes they dress in the costumes from their region. It's just amazing. And
it's on St. Patrick's Day. I'm pretty sure I've seen it. It's at 1:30. So again, the parade will be over. We'll talk about the parade in a few minutes as well. The parade will be over. Go up and get some lovely, tasty
from
global
1:30 to 3:30, and go up. It's just fantastic. They're brilliant.
Yeah. What else then for kids is a fishy poster competition. So again, look out for that. Somethingfishy.ie. Simple, quick and simple. Again, they're all in the paper. There's a clothes swap for Ukraine this evening at the Glen Centre. So if anyone, I don't know, will we have it out in time, but if they're there. There's loads of gigs on. I see if any Nirvana fans, there's a gig there, a Nirvana tribute act in Anderson's. Do you like going to live gigs, or what's your kind of live music preference?
I used to, but since COVID, I don't really. Yeah. But I'm kind of a metalhead, so
you're a metalhead?
I would be, yes.
And there's a metal gig coming up soon enough as well.
There's the Thin Lizzy tribute. If you go, there's Sligo, I think it's called Sligo Metalheads.
That's right, yeah. Benny Murren and the guys, I think, yeah.
They have loads of different gigs coming up, and they're usually in Anderson's. And then they have a festival as well.
That's right.
A yearly festival. So they're well worth checking out.
Okay, so you would catch Val headbanging at that.
No, you'll catch me thinking about it. I'm too old now for that.
Not at all, not at all. Again, there's a big piece about the minister and all the advances coming. 4 county councillors heading to the Big Apple. And I know a lot of people, the first thing is jump on, they're wasting money and all this. Look, there's a reason for it. I, more than any of us doing any business, I think pressing the flesh, meeting people makes connections. Would you be for or against our politicians heading away? Not just Sligo now,
I'd rather them stay at home personally. Yeah, I do think we should, and it's an Irish. St. Patrick's Day is Irish.
Yeah.
So we should be really bigging up our parades here.
Yeah, well, no, again, I can see both sides of the argument. I said maybe they should be telling all the people come over and see our county in its full thing.
Wouldn't it be great if the councillors from there came over here?
Yeah, that would be actually maybe. No, there's 2023.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it. And one thing here to note, Kieran Quinn, I don't know if many of you read his blog. Brilliant blog. He's a great writer. He's a different kind of style, and it's always a quirky way. It's actually he's been doing an article in the Weekender, because it's funny, I only read it this morning and my name was in the first line. He said, in August 2020, Brendan Tierney put me in touch with the Weekender. I was talking to Dorothy when the lockdown started, and I said, great to get some more local features, you know what I mean? And I just mentioned, wouldn't Kieran be great when he does a blog? And that's how that started. So it was mad. Now, 2 years later, it's his last article actually. So
that's a shame.
Yeah, we'll miss that. But again, I can imagine with all the stuff he's doing, he has more team nights back. He's all of this going on.
Well, if they need someone else, I'm
there you go, Val Robus, straight in. Okay, so in 2 years' time, you'll be writing in 2022.
Yes.
Yeah, but like, I think they're brilliant. Again, local news, local people telling a local story, you know. Yeah. So, I mean, one of the massive things happening in Sligo the next week is the St. Patrick's Day Parade in town. And again, I know there's Tubbercurry. At Clare?
There's usually loads of them, and I will do a blog. There used to be 8 of them.
Ballymote is definitely on, Tubbercurry and at Clare.
There's usually one in Enniscrone and
Grange usually is
Grange. Grange is after the town one. Yeah. So they stagger them so you could nearly do them all in a day.
You can imagine 5 parades in one day.
I think I did around 5 one day. Yeah, never again. Because then I took photos of them all, and then I had to edit all the photos.
No, that's huge. But and I know this year, I mean, I'm doing a little part with it. It's not just, which is fabulous. I've always said Sligo should have more big festivals. I think we should have a big Halloween festival, etc. But this is 5 days and nights. There's hundreds of pub gigs, by the way. If you go to sligomusicians.com, firstly, look at all the gigs across hotels, bars, cafes, everything. It's jam packed. Then there's the parade. Then there's live music on the day of the parade from 2 right through. And Stockton's Winger headline on that night. Jay Carter's on another night. Smash Hits are on another night. So 5 are in. Kids are free. There's a street carnival on the Friday, free as well. Stephen Street Car. Oh, it's not actually. It'll be in Stephen Street Car Park and kind of moving around. And then there's a charity bus, which is actually going to be for the Red Cross and for Focus Ireland. And that's going to be in the Italian Quarter. That's actually not even really been announced publicly.
I didn't actually know about that because somebody asked me about, was there going to be a busk? And I said, not that I know of. So now I do.
Yeah. So I know with the whole link of Today FM. So
yes,
that's on Friday, which is tomorrow. But this will be kind of still linked in, but it'll be just a week later. So that's near the Italian Quarter beside the Bistro and Hooked. So you can get some lovely food and enjoy some music. And there's loads of Sligo musicians. And anyone's welcome to join in. I know that much. But again, are you looking forward to the parade again, or are you looking forward to some of the other parts of that?
I'll probably just go in. COVID has really knocked me, and that's fair enough. It's just the way I am. So I will go in early and I'll watch them setting up, and then I'll probably go. But what I love this year about the parade is they've made it shorter because I'm sure I'm not the only one. The gaps in the parade used to wreck my head. They've also moved the staging at the end. Yes, thank goodness. So you've not got the gap in the middle where everyone's throwing themselves up into the air to get the notice of the judges. They'll now do that at the end. And I also love the quiet area.
Yeah.
So because there's so many people with autism or sensory issues that don't want to be in the middle of the parade, that can go to the quiet area because it can get quite loud with the
there's bands,
sirens
some
and the
sirens.
bands.
No. And
so it's great. They get a chance to experience it too.
And I know you said it's shortened, but not just that, it's going up O'Connell Street again.
Exactly. And
I've
it really needed
to
do that. I did years and years ago, and it needed to do that.
Yeah,
so that's
great. I think they've, in fairness to Finbar there, the chairperson, and he was with us a few weeks ago, himself and his team have done amazing work, and they're all volunteers.
Brilliant.
It's insane the level of work. And as I said, it's no one's fault there was gaps. It's just this is a team of volunteers trying to make hundreds of people flow smoothly. So anyone watching in, go and check out Sligo St. Patrick's Festival on social media, because they've all the updates there with the map and whatnot, and the quiet areas, and there's even special access areas as well. More little shorts again. I love this in the Weekender. Northwest Simon have a fundraiser for Clunacool in the Mill Cafe. Now, you were telling me earlier on a little story about the Mill Cafe at Clunacool. I've never been. I don't even know if I've been in Clunacool bar for a GA match or something.
Okay, the Mill Cafe is a community cafe in Clunacool, but what I really love about what they're doing is their speciality almost is tato sandwiches. And if you're wondering why, it's because the guy that invented the cheese and onion flavour for tato was born in Clunacool. Wow. His name was Seamus Burke, and there's a plaque and there's the whole history, and it'll tell you all about it. And I love that they've brought in the history into the cafe. So, and they're lovely out there. I've been in there, so you'll get a great welcome and you'll get fresh home baked cakes, and it's open every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays.
Right. Oh, so it's a weekend cafe.
Yes.
I think. Okay. So.
And also in Clunacool they have a music club night. I think it's on a Thursday. And
such a source. Never mind the paper. Val has all this information.
And anyone can go along and just play your guitar. They give you a cup of tea and a scone, or you can have a pint or whatever. And that's in Clunacool too. So they're a great. All these little communities. There's so much going on.
No, there is, and I think there's loads of really strong communities on the outskirts of Sligo. Whether it's Grange, Clunacool, Killarney, Colooney, whatever. You know what I mean? I seen there was a local GA club there. They won the second best in Ireland or something, with raising money for steps for charity or something like that. So again, such energy in all these little. As I said, our surrounding parishes around the county. Yeah. One little thing here, I see a local music organisation has set up a challenge for their local community to learn a new music instrument in time for St. Patrick's Day, and they've asked 30 well-known faces, including a couple of counsellors. So Michael Clark and Joe Queenan both have to learn, I think it's a tin whistle or something. So I wonder where people can watch that, because that would be lovely to see some videos of that. They're going to be on in some of the parades out the west or something. But anyways, I think if you get the paper, it's all there. But I think that'd be good fun. Are you a musical at all?
No, I tried the tin whistle when I was a kid, and then I tried the violin, and it just sounded like a cat in pain, to be honest.
Ever since you've been donating to cat charities.
Yes.
Students in Sligo to engineer the future of Gaelic games. I've just seen this, there's some initiative of the GPA where they want them to engineer how GA will look in 2050. So that's definitely a different kind of a story to read about. The library, I know you're a big fan of the library.
I love the library, and we've 4 5 of them in Sligo, and they're just brilliant, and they'll get you any book you want, and there's a friendly face, and I love it.
They're so warm in there.
It's
they're always
fantastic.
So chatty and friendly.
And it's actually opened now again, I think from last week, for browsing.
Yeah, it was in.
Because, and they've a lovely little seated area in Sligo Library. You can just relax, and a great place for the kids. They do storytelling, they do all kinds of workshops. So, yeah, your library's great. As one of them was saying to me last week, it's basically a free bookshop.
Yeah, but that's the thing, you nearly forget, like you buying all these books, like, well, they're there, and as I said, they might be able to find a peculiar one, or they can get it from another library and that. So, and there's loads of other online resources. And
actually, online, also the libraries, the Irish libraries, you can do a load of free courses. I don't know if you know about that. I've done some of that during lockdown. So there was art classes, there was all kinds of courses.
Okay.
They're all free. There's Borrow Box, so you can download all these books onto your phone, audiobooks.
So like Kindles and audiobooks.
Yeah, and also the magazines are on there too, so you can download the magazines for free.
And for those that still have DVD players, I seen in there that day I was in, they have DVDs.
Oh, what's a DVD? I'm too young.
But this story is about a children's book being launched about a kid's life in lockdown. I mean, that would be really interesting to see kids actually writing down, because I'd say there's a lot of kids just got through this, seen adults with masks on, were a bit wary, seen their parents scared. So that actually sounds like it would be a very interesting event. It doesn't seem to say the date off the top of my head. I can't see it here. But anyways, go to Sligo Library social media, no doubt.
Or the Weekender, and then they can read all about it.
The Weekender, yeah. You get more, but I just don't see the time there. But again, it sounds like a great little project there. And again, I just all for kids getting involved in writing, singing, performing. And, speaking about Kieran Quinn, like, he is like this asset of giving people a chance.
Yes, yeah.
Adults
absolutely.
alike.
I'd like to do that, I think, but then I'm like, I can't sing.
The theme night.
Yeah.
You could maybe rock out on guitar, get Tabby to...
I could just mime. Yeah, me and Tabby, that would be epic.
There you go. Okay, so Tabby, if you're watching, Val wants you to teach her some kind of a guitar solo, and she can go to the Metalheads Festival then. I see there's entries here sought for Poemathon, which is a thing for an event for the older population. Invited some entries into this month for Poemathon. Are you a poet yourself? You ever
no, I like reading poems. I kind of thought I could write poems, but I can't. I wish I could.
I think everyone can, though, but I think we just have to let ourselves go.
Oh, I don't know how to do it. Actually, my daughter's partner's mother is an amazing poet. So Louise G. Cole. She's fantastic.
G. Cole.
She's actually won a Hennessy Award.
Oh.
So she's amazing.
Wow.
And actually Sligo is home to so many brilliant poets. So
tons of them. So
yes.
That's something. If you know someone that, I don't know what the qualifications are to be an older person on it, but I'm sure you'll find out again. All in the paper there. poetryireland.ie is what is there. Again, you love this story.
I love this story. So there's a doggy daycare in Sligo, which is amazing.
Class.
And I didn't know about it. So again, it's in the Weekender. I actually did see the sign when I was driving down near Cleaver. So you can leave your dog in for the day. There's a business there that have set up, and they'll look after your dog.
Cloud9 Dogs.
Yes,
the business.
they've been on TV actually, I think.
Oh, okay.
So now I have to go and do a bit more research about this, because I love this story, and I know a lot of my followers will, because we're all into
it's brilliant. And again, buy the paper, all the details are there. So again, that's lovely. Again, going through the kind of entertainment section. Loads of gigs coming up in the Hawkswell. By the way, anyone watching, there's an amazing play. It started last night, Wednesday, and it's running till Saturday, I think.
Oh, was that Gaslight?
Gaslight.
It's unreal.
I haven't seen it. I'm going to see. Can I go?
I went to see it when they did it out in Ransborough. Yes. The acting is unreal. You have to pinch yourself to think that I felt like I was in somebody's living room watching this play out. We have so much talent. Like, they're brilliant. Sligo Drama Circle, amazing.
Yeah, and again, there's multiple drama groups in town. As you said, for this music acting, Sligo really is bursting at the seams. But that's Gaslight. But there's loads of, again, look at Cleena Hagan, the country singers coming, Ellen McAvoy, Neil Delamere, one of the best live stand-up comedians. He's there the 25th of March. Again, all the details are in the paper, and I'm going to be skipping through here now, if you excuse me. The census coming up. Do you tell all the truth in your census, Val?
Yeah, well, I actually, years ago in England, I delivered the census things.
How was that?
Oh, it was awful. It was awful, because you have to go at least 3 times if you can't get people. And in the rain, in any weather, and you're basically walking around streets with a massive bag. And because where I lived in Luton, there were a lot of different nationalities, so you had to have the form in all these different languages. So never again. Never again.
And I will always help the people that come, because that's not an easy job.
It's not an easy job.
No. And again, I know the piece in the Weekender, they have their social media around it, but they just pull little pieces out of Instagram from loads of businesses. It's a lovely dog picture there. It's actually Cloud9 dogs again there. There you go. Yep. But they're great little pieces of news. You know, they're not written by the paper. They're just there. So again, always worth a little look into that. Let me just quickly go through. I think we're not far off now. Loads of community notes again. Cliffany man walks 10 miles in full RNLI gear. Whew, I'd rather him than me now. Well done, but that is a tough challenge. Yeah. Well done.
And the RNLI, again, do amazing work, and, they're always looking for help.
Volunteers. Volunteers to go out into a mad, dangerous situation. Absolutely. And a friend of mine used to work with them, and he told me stories. Like, to volunteer to put yourself out there doing that, I know, is amazing effort altogether, and spirit to do that, to help out others. I couldn't get over it. I know. And I see Sligo Hospital wins an award for healthy food options.
Yeah, well done.
Some of the staff down there again, and people traditionally in any hospital give out about the food, but no, they seem to be doing it right down there. So well done to the hard working team down there. And I know then, going on to, just lastly before we let Val go now, was there something else, by the way, you wanted to chat about before we went?
There's a couple of things. There's an event tomorrow for Divas. Which is Domestic Violence Advocacy Services. Okay. You put me on the spot there. So, and it's also run by the Sligo Ask for Angela campaign, which looks after women that maybe feel threatened if they're out on a night out. So you can look them up on Facebook. But they're having a tea party from 10 till 12 in the town hall. In town, so come along and throw a few bob in the bucket and have a cake. And then they've got a flash mob at 1:30 in Johnson's Court.
Okay, so this is Saturday now, sorry.
This is tomorrow, Friday.
Oh, Friday. So what time in the town hall?
10 till 12 off the top of my head, okay. But have a look
flash
first.
Mob
Flash mob is at 1:30, and there's also Creative Heartlands. It's run by the Sligo Leitrim Roscommon Film. It's connected with that, so it's to do with the arts, and they have a lot of different projects coming up, courses. So if you're a visual artist and you want to know more about that, go on to Creative Heartlands on Facebook, and all the events are up there. So one's about virtual reality for artists, that they're doing 3D and laser printing, they're doing NFTs, they're doing all kinds of things, so lots to be involved in, and the courses are subsidised, so it's well worth checking them out.
Very good. You're and always full of information, Val.
Full of something.
And to give a little sports roundup, look, there's loads of good news in sport, but the biggest one is the Sligo Rovers ladies team. This is their first ever, this is history, on Saturday, their first ever home game. And I know it's written here, I better get the details right. I think it's a £5 in and kids are free. And they reckon that Sligo Rovers could break the record for the highest attended ladies soccer match in Ireland ever on the day. So I think that's lovely to see. So Saturday 12th of March, kickoff is at 2. And I know the men's team are home on Monday again. And again, it's always a good night out. So go and support our local teams. I know the GA is still going. The men's team unfortunately lost their game at the weekend. The hurlers are staying up in their division. The under 20s, and I know Val, you're kind of glazing over here now at the sports section.
It's all right. I'm really glad to see the ladies getting the recognition that they deserve, because there's some fantastic ladies football teams out there, and they really it was International Women's Day this weekend. We really need to break the bias. We're every bit as good as you are.
Yeah, no, well, it's very true, and I know even just from watching from afar in England with the ladies Premier League, it's really gone up, being watched now on Sky. It's been featured everywhere, so it is good. And I suppose going back to the archaic days where it was all male analysts, and I'm sure there was definitely times where women were told, "Oh, sure, you couldn't be doing," which is horrible, and they're genuinely I enjoy as many the female analysts' inputs are sometimes a lot better than some of the male ones. I think there's some men getting in there just because of their name, whereas they're not actually that analytical on the game at all. So I love to see that happening. And I see Sligo GA have a women in leadership program happening. That's listed in the Champion this week. I'm sure you can find it anywhere. What other news then in regards to the sport? It's Coola. Now, secondary school, they're in an All-Ireland final. The rugby have a home game as well, the men's rugby team. Again, look, the sport is just bursting. There's basketball, there's always something to go and see at Sligo at the weekend. So again, get your local papers if you want to know all the stuff that's going on in sport. So Val, that wraps up our paper review for this week.
Great.
And so what's your weekend like yourself now? Chilled weekend and waiting for Paddy's Day?
Quiet enough, yes. Just I suppose, yeah.
Will you go in to do the flash mob, or will you go in to watch?
No, I'm busy, so I won't get in, but I'll be with them in spirit. So I went to the tea party before, so even if you just go for the cakes, I love cake. Anyone that knows me knows I love cake. So well done to Joanne and everyone that's organising that, because they're doing brilliant.
Very good. So again, thanks to Val Robus, Magnum Ladies blog, That's where you'll find you.
And Love Sligo.
Love
Facebook
Sligo, a Facebook
page.
group now.
Facebook group, yes.
And page, or
just group. Sorry.
I think groups are really good because it's proper information that you can access if you're a member. You never miss things.
The reason I did the group is I want people to be able to share their stuff too.
Yes.
So if you join it, just if you've an event or a nice photo or something like that, even small businesses, just share something. It's great for the community, and also people can ask things as well.
Yeah, no, it is. So Love Sligo, I'd seen it and I didn't know it was you.
Yes.
So look, there's a lot of things going on in town. We don't know who's behind them. So well done to you, as always. So again, as we always say, this is our paper review show. We're hopefully back again very soon with our big interview chats. And support the local papers. They're supporting so many communities, so many businesses. And we're not affiliated, by the way, with them in any way. This is just us having a chat. And we enjoyed the chat. So Val, thanks very much again. And we'll no doubt we'll have you back on again soon.
Thanks, Brendan.
And thanks to IT Sligo for having us today. Cheers. So if you liked what you just seen, don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel here. We've loads of great interviews from a load of really interesting people over the series. And if you're on social media, which I'm sure loads of you are, we are on Instagram and Facebook, so give us a follow there.